Daddy is not dead. He's under the floorboards, said the black girl. Then the police showed up. Beginning. The sirens began low, a distant howl rolling across the neighborhood like the growl of some machine beast. By the time the lights cut red and blue across the peeling paint of the old townhouse, 7-year-old Amara Carter was already crouched by the living room floor, whispering into the cracks. "Daddy, they're here," she murmured. Her small fingers traced the gaps between the warped floorboards. Dust clung to her skin, but she didn't care. "Don't worry. I'll tell them the truth." Outside, heavy boots pounded. The police had come because neighbors called in a disturbance. They'd heard shouting, the sound of glass shattering, and then silence. For weeks the Carters had been strange. Too strange. When the door splintered inward, Amara didn't flinch. For officers in black tactical vests poured inside, flashlights sweeping across the dim, humid room. One of them, Sergeant Monroe, spotted the girl immediately. "Kay, are you hurt? Where's your father?" Amara stood up slowly, her eyes wide but steady. Her hair was braided tight, her dress wrinkled from days of sleep on the floor. "Daddy is not dead," she declared. Her voice was soft, but every word had weight. She pointed downward. "He's on the floorboards." The officers froze. The air thickened. For just a moment, nobody moved. Middle. They ripped up the boards within minutes. What they expected was a corpse. Another casualty in a neighborhood that always seemed invisible to the city until it bled. But what they found made even hardened police stumble backward. Beneath the boards was a hollow space, a hidden chamber glowing faintly with pale blue light. Inside, strapped to a web of metal ribs, floated a man, Amara's father, Dr. Elijah Carter. His chest rose and fell in unnatural rhythm, a strange humming echoing with every breath. His skin seemed translucent in places, like veins of light ran beneath it. "What the hell?" Monroe whispered. "Is he alive?" Amara nodded vigorously. "Yes. He told me to keep him safe. He said they'd come for him. But he's not dead. He's changing." Dr. Carter wasn't just any man. Before the neighborhood knew him as a single father struggling with bills, he had been one of the leading cyberneticists at Orpheus Biotech, a shadowy defense contractor. Years ago, Elijah uncovered something inside Orpheus's research archives. Something about alien signal fragments buried in satellite data. When he tried to expose it, he vanished from the scientific community. Everyone assumed he had quit, burned out, or worse. But he hadn't quit. He had brought the experiment home. The officers argued in low voices, unsure if this was a crime scene, a medical emergency, or something beyond their jurisdiction. Monroe finally ordered paramedics. But when one officer leaned closer to the glowing chamber, Elijah's eyes snapped open. They were not human eyes. The irises shimmered like polished chrome, and symbols flickered across them, as though language itself had been encoded into his pupils. "Back away." Monroe barked, drawing his weapon. Amara darted forward, shielding her father with her tiny arms. "Don't hurt him. He's not dangerous. He's trying to fix things." Elijah's voice emerged, distorted but unmistakably his. "They're listening. Not the police. The others. Orpheus. They'll come. You must take Amara and run." The chamber lights flared. One of the officers stumbled back, clutching his radio as it screeched static. For an instant, every electronic device in the room went haywire. Flashlights, body cams, even the squad car lights outside. Then the sound of helicopters thundered overhead. The pursuit. Monroe swore under his breath. "We need to move now. This is way above us." But before they could decide what move meant, the roof shook. Black-clad soldiers, not police, rappelled down ropes, smashing through upstairs windows. The insignia on their armor was clear. Orpheus Biotech Security Division. Gunfire erupted. Chaos tore through the townhouse. Amara screamed as bullets tore splinters from the walls. The regular officers were outgunned instantly. Monroe grabbed Amara by the arm and shoved her toward the stairs. "Run!" But Amara twisted free. She pressed her palm against the glowing chamber. "Daddy, wake up. Please." The humming intensified. The metallic ribs of the chamber unlatched one by one, like an insect unfurling its legs. Elijah's body drifted upward, suspended in an invisible field. His wounds, cuts, bruises, the scar from a bullet long ago, knitted together in seconds. Orpheus soldiers stormed into the room. Their commander raised a weapon that pulsed with energy instead of bullets. Target acquired. Terminate. Elijah landed on his feet. For a moment, he looked like nothing more than a tired father in a torn undershirt. Then his skin split, not with blood, but with streams of liquid light. his body reshaped, metal interlacing with bone. He wasn't just human anymore. He was something other. With a single gesture, he sent a shockwave across the room. The Orpheus squad flew backward like rag dolls, weapons sparking uselessly. Amara's eyes shone with tears, but not of fear, of recognition. "I told you," she whispered. "Daddy isn't dead." Revelation. They fled through the chaos. Amara, Elijah, and Sergeant Monroe, who had abandoned all pretense of following protocol. Helicopters searched the skies. Drones zipped through alleys like mechanical hornets. As they moved, Elijah explained in gasps. "I decoded a transmission hidden in satellite data. Not from Earth. A signal, a blueprint. Instructions for merging organic tissue with self-repairing nanostructures. Orpheus wanted weapons. I wanted healing. They shot me when I refused. But the nanostructures, they wouldn't let me die. They rebuilt me under floorboards." Monroe glanced at him, sweat streaking down his face. "So, what are you now?" Elijah looked at his daughter. "I'm still her father. That's what matters." Amara clutched his hand. They reached the river docks, hiding in the shadows of old cargo containers. But Orpheus was relentless. Armored vans rolled up, cutting off escape routes. Spotlights swept across the water. Elijah's transformation was incomplete. His body flickered between man and machine, strength and weakness. He could fight, but not forever. He knelt before Amara. "Sweetheart, if they take me, they'll use me to hurt the world. But you're the key. The signal imprinted on my DNA, and some of it passed to you. That's why you hear me, even when I'm silent." Amara's eyes widened. She remembered the whispers at night, the way she could feel her father's thoughts beneath the floorboards like echoes through her bones. Monroe raised his gun as Van screeched to a halt. "We're out of time." Elijah kissed Amara's forehead. "Whatever happens, remember, I'm not gone. I'll always be with you." Then he stood and turned to face the incoming soldiers. Climax. Floodlights ignited. Orpheus soldiers surrounded them. Drones buzzed like locusts. The commander stepped forward again, armored helmet reflecting the river's black water. "Elijah Carter, you're a property of Orpheus Biotech." Elijah spread his arms. "I belong only to my daughter." The ground trembled as his body erupted with energy. Metal wings unfolded from his back, each feather a shard of living light. The soldiers opened fire, but the bullets dissolved midair, shredded by electromagnetic currents. Monroe dragged Amara behind container as the battlefield exploded. The river boiled from the heat. One by one, soldiers fell, but the commander's energy weapon struck Elijah square in the chest, sending him crashing to the dock. His wings flickered, broken. Amara broke free of Monroe and ran to him. "Daddy, get up." The commander advanced. "It's over." Amara screamed, not in fear, but in defiance. And as her voice echoed, the air around her shimmered. Light flowed from Elijah into her, threads of code and energy weaving into her skin. Her small hands blazed like suns. The commander froze. His weapon melted in his grip. Every drone in the sky collapsed into the river. The floodlights shattered. Amara stood tall, glowing, her braids crackling with arcs of blue lightning. "Leave my daddy alone." The soldiers broke. Some fled. The commander tried to stand his ground, but the river itself rose, waves slamming him into the dark. And then it was quiet, ending. Elijah lay on the dock, his body failing, systems shorting out. He reached up, touching his daughter's glowing face. "You finished what I couldn't." Amara shook her head furiously. "No, you're coming with me." But Elijah's voice was fading. "Listen, they'll keep hunting you. You must stay hidden. Grow strong. The world will need you." He looked at Monroe, who had seen enough to abandon every oath to his badge. "Protect her. Promise me." Monroe swallowed hard and nodded. "I promise." Elijah smiled. For the last time, he whispered, "I'm not dead. I'm under floorboards. Always." Then his body dissolved into light, scattering across the river like 1,000 stars. Amara sobbed, but she felt him still, his presence humming inside her veins, a steady warmth beneath her skin. She wasn't alone. The police who had first stormed her home would write reports that made no sense. Orpheus would cover up everything. But Amara knew the truth. Her daddy wasn't dead. He had given her a piece of himself, something no corporation, no government, no army could ever take away. And as Monroe took her hand and led her into the uncertain night, Amara lifted her chin. Somewhere, under every floorboard of every forgotten home, her father's light still glowed, waiting,